Hello and welcome to day 2 of Rigger Repair's social media campaign. Today we're going to talk about what my favourite product or service is. So I'll let you have a look at the intro. Hope you enjoyed that. Well, I'm sure a lot of you are asking what a chronograph is. A lot of people confuse chronograph and chronometer. I'll not go into chronometer right now because that's a different conversation altogether. Basically, for me, when I first started studying for the BHI, one of the things I had to do was do a portfolio. One of the watches that I chose was a stopwatch, which is this one here, which is one of my favourite stopwatches. It's a 30-second stopwatch, so it runs very fast, very accurate, and obviously, as most people will know, is for measuring time in races or in car races or anything like that. A chronograph is basically a type of watch that combines your traditional timepiece, the watch that you wear on your wrist, with the stopwatch function. So it allows it to measure periods of time on your wrist, mainly used for, again, things like racing or timing something or things like that. So for me, it's always been very exciting because the parts that are involved, the complexity that's involved in a chronograph is unreal. Whether it's a vintage Daytona or a 321 chronograph, which is the moon watch, the watch that went to the moon, or an 8510, which is a Buren micro rotor movement, which I'll probably introduce to you at some point, with a chronograph movement bolted onto the top of it, which is fascinating. So I'm sure you'll have seen the pictures that's just come up while I was talking. Those are some of my favourite chronograph movements that I've seen since May. Very exciting. And basically, like I say, the complexity that's involved in taking one of those apart and putting it back together is more of a challenge than servicing your basic Rolex or servicing your basic Omega or Tag, or which you can strip down and put back together without thinking about it once you're adequately trained. A chronograph, in my opinion, even after 20 years of stripping them down and putting them back together, it's still very complicated, very non-straightforward to put it back together. You don't just do it in your sleep, basically. So that's my favourite service. I've certainly seen a lot of them since I opened the business in May. A lot of people who have vintage chronographs, which has been something quite exciting for me. Very similar to the stopwatch that I did my portfolio for the BHI on. The parts are so much more intricate and so much more detailed, and the finish on them on vintage timepieces is generally a lot more complicated and a lot more pretty. They always look good to look at, like the Omega 321 Moonwatch. One of my favourite movements, absolutely stunning. The finish of the movement, the plates, it all just looks amazing. And that's the reason why a chronograph is my favourite product service. So I hope you all enjoyed that little look into my favourite product service, the chronograph. Some beautiful movements there. I'm more than happy to talk about any watches or any clocks that anybody would be interested in me putting on. So if you have any suggestions for what you would like me to do, please send me a private message. Let me know what you would like me to do a video on, and I'll try and incorporate it into this month. So I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.